From cold grey Aberdeen to sunny Spain, Jose Bojan Mioviski. Pour a Corona for that man at Girona. Welcome back to Fog Football. That was a bit explosive, that was a wee bit out of nowhere, but he's got his heart set on the transfer. He was spotted at Aberdeen Airport the other day with a suitcase and a few bags, and that normally tells you when a player's away.
It does. He's got the sunscreen as well, so it's looking good for Mioviski. It's looking good for Aberdeen, especially if they can get some decent money for Bojan. But I always felt like Bojan was going to move in this window. Unlike, let's say, Shankland, who I think there's a high probability that he stays at Hearts. For me, Mioviski was probably always going to leave, and it was just a matter of when. I'd put Mioviski almost in the same boat as O'Reilly. I do think they're both leaving in this window. I think both clubs, Aberdeen and Celtic, were just holding it for the most amount of money that they can possibly get. And maybe Aberdeen have now found that with Girona and Mioviski being in talks. Now, Mioviski's had 2 seasons at Aberdeen, 2 good seasons. Last season, you can certainly understand why he stayed, because Aberdeen finished 4rd. They were in the Europa League conference group stage as well, so they had that going for him. But yeah, going forward, Mioviski with 2 years left on his deal. He's not going to stay. I don't see a point in him staying another year.
No.
It's unlikely to happen.
No, his current value's $4 million transfer market.
Aberdeen are kind of going through a rebuild right now. I don't see the point of keeping Mioviski around for 1 year.
No.
If you're going to do the rebuild, you may as well get good money for Mioviski and use that money to help the rebuild that Jimmy Phelan will be going through.
I think a lot of times when players leave clubs, it's like, oh, why is he leaving Aberdeen? But yeah, he's leaving Aberdeen, no European football. He's going to Girona, who are in the Champions League. There is levels to this game, and that is a move that he has to do to further his career. There is no big club. We did this. I mean, they're in the Champions League.
Yeah, plus Girona going forward, you could expect them to be one of the, maybe not a top side in Spain, but they're definitely one of the better sides in Spain.
Yeah, owned by the City Group.
So, yeah, this is an exciting move for Mioviski, and I cannot blame him for taking it. I think he's been fair to Aberdeen. It's not like he's jumped at the first opportunity. He's had countless offers. There's been a shitload of clubs interested in Mioviski, but he has, for one reason or another, not left to go to any of those clubs, but it now looks like he will be leaving to go to Girona, and it is a good move. Like I said, one of the better teams in Spain, Champions League group stage football. This is going to improve his career massively, and we're going to find out just how good Mioviski can be.
Yeah, we are. In terms of Girona, they did finish 3rd last year, so we're talking about a team that beat Atletico Madrid, a team that was looking really good halfway through last season.
Yeah, a team that I never thought they were going to win it, but they did look like they should have got 2nd.
Yeah, so like I said, $4 million transfer market, that is his value. What do you think they'll get? I think he's worth a lot more than 4.
I think Aberdeen will probably break their transfer record fee ever. I'm going to assume around 6.5 to 7 million. I think that's what we're kind of looking at here for Mioviski. Maybe a bit more, considering it is Girona and they can afford it. And Aberdeen have rejected previous offers, so this doesn't tell me that Aberdeen are desperate just to take the first offer they get. They're not going to just take any amount of money because they've been strong in the transfer market before. So for me, Aberdeen, if they are going to sell, then they're going to get the amount of money that they want. And I believe that they want probably closer to 10 than they do 5. We've seen 6.5 be the value. That's what we've heard as the starting point. I imagine that they will get at least that. If not, it depends. If they're getting like add-ons and things like that and a sell-on fee, then maybe 6.5, 7 mil. If they've just been bought outright, then I could see it rising to like 8, 8.5. So it really depends on what the add-on fees and additional services and the contract are. But yeah, it's a good move for Aberdeen because Mioviski, he's just not going to be there forever. I think we know that. He was always going to move. It was just a matter of time. And the money is good. If he stays this season, you run the risk of him maybe, not delivering up to the previous 2 seasons, and another year goes down of his contract, and before you know it, the amount of money that you might be able to get from Mioviski could cut in half.
Yep.
So for me, makes perfect sense for Aberdeen to let him go now.
They've got to get big money, like you say, though. I mean, we're talking a striker here, 2 years left on his deal, young enough, proven in Europe and for his international team. If you can't get good money for a player like that, then who are you getting good money for?
Yeah, plus...
And it bodes well for the rest of the league.
I mean, he's a striker that scores goals, and at the end of the day, that's what you get the most money for in a transfer market. We can talk about midfielders, defenders, goalkeepers. The players that go for the most amount of money are strikers that can score goals. And that's what Mioviski can do.
I mean, see Girona, though, we're talking about a team that's probably like, what, in the top 15 teams in the world? If you finish top 3 in La Liga, which is one of the best leagues in the world, I think it's a bit weird to actually see a team go for Mioviski.
How high can this go? This bid? Transfer?
No more than 10.
No more than 10. Can we get to 10?
I think we could get to 10, but it won't be any more than 10.
Won't be any more than 10.
In that ballpark. But yeah, we'll be back with the latest. Jimmy Thielen did say that he'd use him up until he couldn't, so when will that day come? Could be tomorrow.
Could be tomorrow.
Or is it Sunday?
Could
I
be
don't
in
know.
a few weeks. We don't know that yet. But, I mean, even look at Mioviski, the way he's handled himself. He's been professional, turning up, getting on with the job. And that's what you want from a player. Whereas you look at someone like Duke, who has kind of acted the opposite way in order to try and force a move for Aberdeen. So, and I think that's another thing. Clubs will probably look at that. They'll look at the way Mioviski has handled this situation, and they'll be like, that's the kind of player we want at our club. So, yeah, I think everyone's handled it well, and I think a move from Mioviski to Girona is good for every party involved. Because let's not forget, Girona they're getting a good striker here.
No, they are absolutely getting a good striker, and I think he'll go on to bigger and better things even after Girona potentially. But anyway, that'll do it for Fog Football. Back later on. Peace.